I like me some Watcher action. Watcher's definitely a different feel from the other characters. I think Watcher more than the others thrives on removals and consistency. Watcher more frequently than the others can be built towards a smaller average deck size. And that can lead to some very intriguing victory conditions. There is, of course, great potential in this character for infinite combos, particularly with Rushdown or Empty Mind. But you can also build a super small deck that just has a couple solid fundamentals in it, and is able to output tremendous amounts of damage. So, how's our Act 1 looking? Probably fighting in early elites somewheres. 3 elites is not even possible here. We have a maximum of 2 elites, which is kind of intriguing here. Morning, little biker Nana. I agree, Transforming 2 does sound like pretty good fun. Transform is a high variable play. It lets us get rid of 2 defends at the start, which is something Watcher tends to want to do. You really do have the best results in Act 1 with just basically Eruption, Vigilance, and 4 strikes, ensuring that your damage output is sky high, while you're still able to generate some meaningful block. It's a curious inverse to most of the other characters. Yeah, let's do it. Let's transform 2 defends. Getting Sanctity and Worship. Well now, that's definitely not what I would describe as the ideal pair of cards to get off transforms. Sanctity at the minimum is better than a defend though. And there is some intriguing use for Mantra, particularly of this variety. If upgraded, it'll retain, staying in our hand until we want to gain 5 Mantra, which could make it really good alongside any other Mantra source we can find, such as a Pray, a Prostrate, or a Devotion. Prostrate in particular would be a welcome addition at this point, since it also helps us make the Sanctity go card draw. Rob, thank you so much for the Tier 1 sub. Welcome to the Cozy Sub Club. So with no money, we want to avoid an early shop. We also want to get an upgrade before the first elite, probably. So I'm thinking something like this. Upgrade Eruption at this fire. Oh wait, that actually can't cross over? Oh. That doesn't connect. Okay, hold on. Scratch everything. We definitely want to fight 2 elites here. I think that means we have to fight one of these 2. Well, we should make a decision at this point then. We'll decide from these 2 combats whether we're capable or not. And then ideally we want to go probably this way. Grab this extra rest site. Otherwise we have to go around. Marking this in red because taking an elite before a first rest site is not that easy to do without a potion of some kind. We didn't get cards that make me particularly confident that we'll have enough power to defeat the first elite. You really do need a lot of damage output for that first elite to not be so scary. And right now this deck does not perform well in those fights. We would need either a way to get into Divinity or a retaining attack of some kind, ideally both, to feel really comfortable. Like if we get, say, Prostrate and Carve Reality or Battle Hymn, I'll feel very comfortable indeed. So it's all going to depend on what our first few card rewards yield to us. Looks like an excellent start to this fight. We enter Wrath. We bap him. We draw both strikes. We'll slay the bird. Which we do. That's what most Watcher versus Cultist fights should look like, I tend to think. 2 pretty good attacks being offered here. Consecrate deals area damage, whereas Empty Fist is higher single target damage and exits our stance. I'm feeling like we might want Empty Fist for a little bit of stance control. It's also a really good upgrade. Although I think the Sanctity's card draw does speak somewhat to taking a Consecrate. Bitwise Bard, it says, I know it isn't always that simple, but do you try to pick fights over events until your deck is decent? Yes. Especially at the beginning of Act 1, you must get some cards into your deck before you go into events. The rewarding things that you can get from events, particularly in Act 1, include upgrades and card removals. Neither of those are actually going to improve the output of your deck until you have cards that are better than Strike or Defend to either upgrade or to improve your draw frequency of when you remove your starter cards. Gorilla Power, thanks for 14 months. So right at the start of Act 1, my priority is always to take a few combats. You want the first 3 especially. These are your so-called easy pool fights, which should be easy to win for relatively low health investment, allowing you to get some juicy rewards. But even beyond that, your goal is to get, in Act 1, I'd say, between 3 and 5 cards added to your deck that help you perform better than the starting deck. From there, you want to focus on upgrades, removals, and relics. More so. You also want to get these starting potion slots filled with really anything. Anything you can get your hands on. Lose Empty Fist to obtain a relic. My only option, given that we have no potion and no money for Ranwood here. Curious. I do usually take the Shining Light upgrades and Espana, as long as I have a rest site in my future where I can trade that upgrade back for health, then I view it as a 2 upgrades for the price of 1 deal. I'll take a relic. What do you got, sir? A Stone Calendar. Who needs to hit your enemies with your fists when you can just wait 7 turns and they'll die all on their own? Easy. This does actually give me an answer to the Lagavulin Elite, somewhat. Bop this one specifically. Yes, this also does help a lot against Hexaghost, I agree. Good. Want Eruption on top, so let's play Sanctity without the card draw. So we can strike it now. Give them the bit bat. There we get a potion. Stance Potion. Enter Calm or Wrath. Very useful. We're offered another copy of Worship. So I don't particularly like double Worship. We're not playing Battleship here. Fundamental problem with Worship is that you're paying 4 energy if you play it twice to gain 10 mantra, which gives you 3 energy back. And then triple damage. Triple damage is nice, but paying 4 to gain 3 is a pretty bad deal, generally. I do, however, like Crush Joints a lot. Just with our Miracle, I mean, we're going to want free skills anyway, and it helps me get some damage multiplication going, as well as being a higher base damage than the strikes are, so I think it'll be just fine. Alright, and I think we got good enough rewards. We should be on track to defeat our first elite with relative ease, especially if we get a half-decent reward from this fight. We can just kill next turn with our attacks, whatever they might be. Bippity bappity. 20 bucks, and there's a retaining damage card. Flying Sleeves. It deals 4 damage twice. Now, that might not seem like a lot, and you're right. That's not very much damage. But it is damage. And therefore, I do like it, actually, here with our mantra. Flurry Blows is also potentially adequate, especially with Stance Potion alongside. We could play that a bunch of times. What's the upgrade for Crush Joints? This one gives it 2 damage and 1 more turn of Vulnerable, which I consider to be a very, very good upgrade. Not quite as good, I think, as getting Eruption upgraded, but Crush Joints will be a high priority upgrade for sure. As will the Flying Sleeves upgrade, which is 2 more damage on each hit, plus 4. Improves the base damage of this card essentially by 50%. And is almost required if you're going to make Flying Sleeves actually feel good. Just like Sweeping Beam. We were talking about this a little bit yesterday. A Sweeping Beam is a common attack that really feels terrible unless you upgrade it. But if you upgrade it, it can be quite useful. And that is how I feel about this card too. I'm going to pick up a Flying Sleeves. It's not my favorite damage option, but it will serve adequately. I don't want to draw more cards right now. I don't want to draw more cards right now. We go Sanctity Vigilance, because I don't want to draw Eruption and be unable to play it. So let's just bank. Yeah, exactly. Eruption was the top. Now, that said, can I kill this man with everything that's in my hand? With you 9, 12, 12, 16. Don't think that's going to be enough. Calculator, save me. $49 damage. Oh, that is enough. Well, I'll be. Right? 9 plus 24 plus 16. 49, yes, that's correct. And we have enough energy for all of this. The Eruption refunds too, upon leaving calm, and we have a Miracle as well, which we don't even need. That's why you triple check your math. There it is, Prostrate. Zero cost skill, essential for comboing with the Crush Joints and the Sanctity, and it's Mantra. Mantra. And I'm not afraid of Gremlin Knob, currently. Because I have a Stance Potion. Follow-up, or a second Crush Joints, both somewhat decent here, follow-up in particular. But I think if we can actually get the Mantra thing online, we're going to have a lot of success. And it's not even a Gremlin Knob. Brilliant. So, Lagavulin will sleep for up to 2 turns before becoming cranky and awakening. It's essential to use those 2 turns to get a decent opening hand of cards. Ooh, that is tempting, though. As well as play any powers you might want to play. Or other setup cards you might want to play. I'm going to let the Stone Calendar advance here. Need to let Lagavulin sleep for the maximum amount of time if you want the Stone Calendar to contribute. It's a little sketchy for the next 2 turns. I don't think we want to draw with Sanctity. Alright. Tabal, thanks for that full year of support. Heck yeah. Let us see. So we've got Vigilance in our hand right now. This would be a good time to use the Speed Potion, I think. Do Eruption, Vigilance, Defend. I could use the Miracle in addition if I wanted to. I don't think that I want to quite yet. Saving 7 with the Speed Potion currently. So we're blocking for 13. I can likely use it to save more than that next turn. Okay. So do I want to use the Miracle for 16 damage? No. Okay. We'll just take 7 here. Probably use the Speed Potion, yeah, here. Because now we're blocking for 12, so it saves 8. A slight improvement. I'll take it. And then we should be able to KO with Stone Calendar plus Divinity shortly. We'll have a big burst of all the damage at once. Also get to strike here. Might as well Miracle, since I'll have an abundance of energy next turn. Get him. 24. Who even needs Stone Calendar? Not me. I'll take a boat, though. Ooh. Tempting to take Ragnarok to combo with Divinity, but I think we just want the simple manipulation that Cut Through Fate offers. Scry lets us look at the top couple cards of the deck, shows them to you in order, very crucially in order, and lets you choose to discard one or both of them. So essentially, Cut Through Fate is look at the top 2 cards of your deck, choose which one you want to draw, or discard both and draw a 3rd mystery card. You're early, sir. Well, I might avoid this shop now. Let's see what you've got. Fasting. Fasting can be a fun card to build around. This is definitely not the deck to do it, though. Inner Peace could be very curious. I think we want to take the simple choice here, though, and simply remove one of our cards. For 75 gold, it's often the most powerful thing you can do in any store. Remove a starter card to improve the consistency of your deck. Basically, any character wants to get rid of all of one of their starter cards. If Watcher, probably all 4 defends. If you're any other character, probably all 4 strikes. Or all 5 strikes. Poor Silent. Wait, we're not removing this. We're moving a defend. That'll teach me to narrate and click on things at the same time. So, first upgrade will be Eruption. Making that down to a 1-cost card. Basically allows you to play another attack alongside the Eruption on most turns, especially if you've been diligently removing your defends, which will improve our damage output substantially. The biggest of the chest types, containing lots of cash, 75 gold, meaning we can actually go here and remove another card, as well as a Pantograph, healing us at boss fights. Means we might have almost too much health for Hexaghost, but that could be fun regardless. That's a lot of block. Can I do the requisite amount of damage here? Do Cut Through Fate, Eruption, Strike, Flying Sleeves. That would deal 7 plus 9 plus 12 plus 16. That would do 44 damage, which is more than half of this creature's health, so yes. And I'll play the Miracle to play the Warship, so that if I draw the Warship again, I can use it to go Divine. Perfection. So with these two means we get to keep Flying Sleeves for next turn. Divinity. Cool, that went quite well. Angry Sheep says, the game worth buying on Switch for €10? I think so. I think this is one of the most replayable, most enjoyable games ever made. The Switch version is not completely perfect. There are a couple of unaddressed bugs, such as with the Ring of the Serpent relic for Silent, but even though it's not a perfect port, it is about as close to a perfect game, mechanically, as you can find. And I've managed to play this game for now 5,000 hours plus without getting substantially bored of it, which is saying quite something. Second, Prostrate. I like a lot. Double Prostrate is going to make the Sanctity and Crush Joints even more consistent. I think that perfectly justifies going to this shop and removing the last Defend. And that's going to allow us to, by upgrading one of the Prostrates, enter Divinity on the first deck cycle, the first draw through of all of our cards. What's up with Ring of the Serpent on Switch? I think it's bugged to be twice as effective, so it'll draw you 2 cards per turn instead of 1. It's actually a good bug in terms of benefiting the player, so it makes the relic really overpowered. But it is definitely a bug. I do think the best version of Spire is absolutely the Steam PC version. It's moddable, has the least amount of bugs. Definitely not bug-free, though. Runs the best. Gremlin Gnorb. Well, we've drawn our Eruption turn 1, which is pretty good. Our mantra stuff won't do much for us in this fight. Gremlin Gnorb is basically a damage raise. Can you bonk this nerd within 3 turns? So we want to draw into another one of our attack cards here. So do we want to draw either Prostrate or Defend? No, we can't quite get it in Divinity with these three. So we'll discard them both, draw the third mystery card, which is Crush Joints. Become vulnerable. And then I'll play this for 18. So only 28 health on the Gremlin Knob. 3 strikes would be sufficient to kill here. Or 2 strikes and Flying Slaves. It is so. And we're through. Get 31 bucks, a tiny chest, making every 4th question mark room into a treasure room. Not a particularly good relic in my opinion, but happy to have it. Do I want one more Cut Through Fate? You better believe I do. More draw and more scry, while being an attack at the same time, exceedingly useful. Yes, Angry Sheep, this is a roguelike. So to sum up the premise of Slay the Spire, you start with a deck of 10 cards. There are 4 different characters, each with a slightly different starting deck. But you start with a basic 10-card deck, from which you draw 5 cards per turn. And you use these to fight monsters in an ever-escalating labyrinth, the Spire. You have to advance through 3 acts, defeating 3 bosses to win. Every map is randomly generated, as are the foes and the boss that you fight, as are the card rewards that you see at the end of each combat. Every time you win a fight, you'll be presented with a choice between 3 new cards, like this one, to add to your deck. These cards are highly random, so what you see on each run is going to be wildly different. And the premise is, each time you play through, use the randomly generated rewards that you're given to overcome the randomly assigned opponents that you match up against, and try to win. It is a consistently challenging experience, but highly skill-based at its core, and dang fun. If you perish anywhere along the way, if you ever drop to 0 hit points, you are dead, your run is over, and you're woken back at the beginning of Act 1 for a new random loadout, new random card rewards, new relics to find, etc. The mechanical interactions between the cards and the relics and all the other things you can find are simple at their core, but end up remarkably complex in their interactions, such that there is constantly novel situations I'm finding myself in within Slay the Spire, even though I've played it for so long. How do you keep sane? I might have to give that book a read when it comes out. Jorbs' book. Glad to see another member of the community posting, sharing kind of the inner workings of their experience in some way, and I'm actually quite curious what the contents might be myself. Circling back to staying sane in this position, it is something that you can quite easily fall victim to. There's an enormous expectation, there's an enormous pressure to stream as much as you can, as spectacularly as you can, with an ever-escalating series of challenges. If I wanted to be the most dollars, then I'd want to have a 100-game win streak or something absurd, right, like that, to set off this ever-escalating fireworks display of in-game accomplishments. But that's not humanly sustainable, generally speaking. And it does require a delicate balance between your time online and your time in person. I try to set boundaries for myself with the stream. I don't allow myself to consume too much of my personal life with stream time. So I know that I do stream less hours per week than would be humanly possible, but that's in order to maintain a balance of enjoyment and novelty with this game and with my content. Streak stress is definitely real. I think everybody who's streamed a win streak in Spire on Twitch can speak to that. The atmosphere just kind of gets electrically charged almost in chat. It's cool, but it's tough. I view myself in the role of the stream as a business owner, sort of. And there's definitely a pressure there to overwork oneself. I don't have anybody, you know, that I report to. I don't have anybody telling me, you've got to come in on Saturday and open because we're short. But I definitely feel that pressure, that desire. Like, I could stream an extra day here or there, and then this would achieve something for me. But I also know that there are many other things in life that I want to do that aren't within the confines of this room, that aren't within the confines of my computer screen. And I'm constantly looking for ways to make time and do that too. Yeah, burnout is real in any profession, in any position. And I think that avoiding that is something that we don't really share a lot of collective knowledge on. We don't have a class that's intro to not hating your own life, which we really should. And taking time off last week, for me, it definitely helped with that. I got to sort of go out my bubble, experience some new things. I really, really enjoyed my trip to the Bruce Power Facility in southern Ontario, one of the largest nuclear power plants in the world. And just drinking in the knowledge of the scale of engineering. It's an absolutely ridiculously large facility. We talk about some of the maintenance work, component replacements they do, and the time scale is on the order of half a decade to swap out a mechanical component. The amount of engineering is absolutely astounding. So it was fun to absorb knowledge that was sort of a different category than I usually do. Avenue Philanthropist says, after a grueling 100 hours of playtime and probably a lot more watching time, you finally managed to beat Ascension 20 for the first time with Clad. You are so welcome for the hours of tutelage. Hey there, Oju. The whole point of a standing desk is to be a hybrid, at least for me it is. Switching and standing at will. You know what? Let's stand. Rise with me, Twitch chat. Arise, my minions. Wajura, thank you as well for the tier 1 sub. Also, a few minutes ago, Ghosts are cool. Thanks for the $10 tip. Ghost says, thanks for the streams. They've been relaxing and distracting during a difficult summer with my first newborn. Cheers. Good luck to you and yours. Here's to better years ahead. The artwork behind me, that's Laudate Solis. It's a Dark Souls fan art. One of my favorites, depicting the interconnected vertical world of Dark Souls. The leader has risen. I think Prostrate's actually our first upgrade here, because we want the sum total of 10 mantra available to us. And then maybe Worship or Crush Joints next. Let's go with cut here. I definitely want to target the one that's buffing. Give me second cut. We've had first cut, yes, but what about second cut? Brilliant. Kerblamo. Duplication potion. That could be instantaneous divinity with worship. I think there could be some use for a tranquility in this deck, a retaining commentary. I think it would be a lot more useful if it were upgraded, and I don't think that I currently have an upgrade available to give to it. We have many good upgrades in the deck already. I'd like to upgrade Crush Joints, I'd like to upgrade Worship, I'd like to upgrade Flying Sleeves, and I would even be willing to upgrade these Cut-Through Fates with additional upgrades for a bit more damage and scry one more. So Tranquility is just frankly not going to make the list. And I am going to remove that last defense. Can't afford Membership Card or Apotheosis. These are tragic. But we can afford card remove and possibly a Rushdown if we feel like we want to get card draw in that fashion. I'm not sure that I do. Rushdown's okay with just Eruption. It's not amazing. But if we picked up another Wrath card, it could be. Definitely happy to get rid of that last defend. Look at this, only 15 cards, and quite a bit of card draw in it, too. Not upgraded Rushdown. The Rushdown will help against Hexagos. Oh, I can't tell you how much time I managed to save each week by not having to drive anywhere. Being able to work from home has been incredibly, incredibly helpful. And HelloFresh, quite frankly, also has been really, really helpful to me. Sponsorship aside. Really enjoyed our sponsorship round with that, but have continued to be a personal customer just because of how much time it saves me each week. Being able to have just like all of the ingredients for a meal delivered directly to me. It saves a lot of mental capacity on stuff like deciding what to eat each week too, which is good. I've liked it a lot. It's also helped a lot having a couple of folks who can help me with some of the behind-the-scenes things. So shout out to Sean and James over at S Tier. Shout out to our community manager, Faley, and the rest of the moderators as well. Shout out to my YouTube manager, Riley. Nearly half dozen people now who contribute majorly to the stream in some way that help keep the show coming on a regular basis and getting distributed in many, many ways. Let's do it. Give me the Rushdown. Give me the Rushdown. The Empire grows, it's true. I'm thinking Crush Joints might actually be the primo upgrade here, but making sure Worship allows us to line up key damage is crucial. Problem is, without Flying Sleeves upgraded, I really don't care that much about the Worship upgrade either. Okay, so let's do with Crush Joints first. Is anyone other than myself working full-time on the stream? No. Have I ever considered hiring someone to stream during my off time? The hunt for a lookalike is still ongoing. Entering Wrath now would be a little sketchy. I'd have to draw Vigilance next turn or use the Stance Potion to avoid instant death. Hexaghost on turn 2 is going to attack us for a number based on our current health. The more health you have, the more damage it does, with the exact formula being here in stream, exclamation point, Hexa. Hit point divided by 12, rounded down, plus 1, times 6. So with 68 health, that's going to be 6 times 6 damage. 60 is 12 divided by 5. So 5 plus 1 times 6. I have considered Clone Spider Post, but the resulting inability to determine which of us is the real Baalor and the fight to the death that would follow has been so far a reason to not try that yet. All right, we'll leave Sanctity for next turn. I'm going to play Worship. Prostrate here. Health at the start of turn 2. That's right. That's what's used to determine this damage number right here. So if you gain or lose health on turn 1, your adjusted total will be what matters here on turn 2. Looks like a pretty good turn. Give me the energy. Actually, I probably wanted to Vigilance at the end. I did. Now I have too much energy. Could have stored some of that for later. Oh well, still a pretty good hit. We've got plenty of health. 50 for the remainder of the Hexaghost fight is more than sufficient. And I am going to play this Cut Through Fate and the resultant Prostrate as well. So we go Sanctity. Draw 2. Eruption draws 2. And then we can enter Divinity. Bonk. Bonk. Sure. Bonk. Bonk. Look at that damage. Absurd. Nice. GG. GG. Yeah, and we thought Stone Calendar was going to get to do something. Not today, Stone Calendar. Not today. Oh man, Scrawl is going to be amazing for this deck. Scrawl will allow us to draw all of the mantra at once, which is going to allow us to do really, really absurd things on our turn. I think that's a pretty easy pick. It'd be much harder to make use of Conjure Blade, Bonjour Blade, or Spirit Shield. Although we have enough retain to maybe allow Spirit Shield to be somewhat helpful. Definitely going to grab Scrawl. And very happy with a Coffee Dripper with Pantograph. Coffee Dripper's extra energy prevents us from resting, but who needs to rest? People who don't draw Scrawl, that's who. Could maybe make an argument for the Violent Lotus. Whenever you exit Calm, gain 1 energy. We only have 1 entry to Calm, but we would probably pick some more up. Depending on how well refined your deck is, this can be better than an Energy Relic, or even enable an infinite combo you wouldn't have otherwise been able to have. I think the only wrong pick here would be the Busted Crown. 2 fewer cards to choose from. Even though the deck is kicking ass currently, this deck absolutely lacks a late-game block plan. It's usually how I like to build on Watcher. Top-heavy first, all damage to kill the early game. And then as you progress into Act 2 and Act 3, you start to pick up cards that allow you to generate large amounts of block. Powers like Mental Fortress, cards like Talk to the Hand, Wave of the Hand. They can really come in handy. Let's take that Coffee Dripper. The easy healing from the Pantograph should be good. I think even if we didn't have Pantograph, Anchor also really helps out Coffee Dripper, as it can prevent the annoying chip damage you might take early on. Let's just go 4 elites. I think we're going to blap basically everything to death. Is that excessive? Maybe. That might be excessive. How many upgrades would I prefer? Which upgrades are still crucial? Scrawl upgrade feels very helpful. Flying Sleeves upgrade still very relevant. Worship upgrade, oddly not that important. I think we can get away with not upgrading Worship. So my top priorities are Scrawl and Flying Sleeves. Okay. How tough is it to go infinite using Divinity? Relatively tricky. You need to be able to be energy positive using the Divinity cards. Prostrate is the easiest card to do this with, since it's a 0-cost mantra gain. Simply combine Prostrate with sufficient card draw and at least 1 kind of stance exit, and you can create an infinite combo. So 2 Prostrates and 2 Empty Minds upgraded should be an infinite combo, so long as you have no other cards to deal with in the draw or discard pile. Of course, that's always the tricky part, is getting down to the 10-card or 5-card minimum required to actually cycle the cards. Also go this way. Not sure about that. Let's start with this and see how it feels. Feels pretty good, if you ask me. Die, foul birds. I could enter Wrath, I could. I will. That puts me in a Divinity, which means I will take less damage. I'll take it. Who needs Rushdown anyway? Not me. Alright, we absolutely dunk those fool birds. But I think I'll pick up any more mantra cards, like this Prostrate? No, not this one. Maybe if they were upgraded. But we don't need any more mantra, we just need more card draw to use on the existing mantra. So I'll take things like an Inner Peace or an Empty Mind. Maybe even a Wheel Kick. But I won't be taking this Prostrate. Ooh, I will be removing another card. Upgrade all strikes and offends. There's only 4 strikes. How about I just remove a strike? Begone. The answer was elegance. Of course. Vega Barado. A dad joke for the crowd. What did one tortilla chip say to the other when it stole their cheese? Hey, that's nacho cheese. Could take combats or events. I have tiny chest. Let's take another event or two. If I take 2, this would actually be guaranteed to be a chest. I don't want that to be a chest. I would like that to be whack. So actually, no, let's go this way. That's nacho pun either. Bonk this one. Definitely appreciating Anchor for all the help it has saved us. Numerous moments here. And to think I could still play Scrawl after all that. Another copy of Sanctity. Now there's card draw. Card draw and block. Yes. Yes, this is sufficient card draw that I think we want to include it. Because it'll allow us to draw into our Prostrates even more. How's it going, Hurry McDurry? Yeah, we'll be playing some Cult of the Lamb later in the stream today. If we didn't already have a Crush Joints, I would agree. Indignation could be useful, but I quite like the Sanctity. We have not started Cult of the Lamb yet. No, this will be my first look. I just made sure the graphic settings were working, basically. And I've watched a little bit of other content creators, but I don't actually know any of how it all works or anything like that. More combats, please. Perfect. Discard Stinky Vigilance. can't enter Divinity now. What do I do? This is where I do wish Worship retained, so I could do Prostrate, Crush Joints or something. We will have Flying Sleeves next turn, but we'll also be weakened, so it's going to be pretty sad. Still, I think this is the right move. Sure hope it is. Vigilance, Prostrate. Let me go to town. With 6 energy. Can we kill this nerd? I think we can. Easily. Get ourselves an Ancient Potion. There's that Tranquility Plus I asked for. 0 cost, retain, enter calm. I'll take it. Basically 2 energy for 1 card. And we have enough card draw at the moment that I think that's a good trade. Ancient Potions, kind of useful, but I think not with these potions. Hello and welcome, Nezumi Samurai. I guess quick show of hands here. Chat members, how many of you own this game on 2 or more platforms? If only you could keep your Ascension level from one game to the other. But it's definitely addicting enough to want to be able to take with you wherever you go. Card removals even more. What a ridiculous run. We're starting to cut all the strikes out of this deck. In Act 2 on the Watcher. That's quite telling. That's quite telling. I can probably even afford a 3rd removal at this shop, too. Alright, Slavermans. What have ye for me today? We cut through Fate first or Sanctity first? I think we want to look at the top. Okay, this is fine. How much damage is Eruption, Flying Sleeves, Strike? 9 plus 12 plus 16. That's not going to be 43. Do want the Flying Sleeves, though. So lose the Eruption? Okay. We set up for next turn. Understood. Well, I could use the Stance Potion with Wrath to kill this guy now. Let's do 20, 24. So these 2 alone would kill. And that would save all of the health loss we're currently looking at. But it would cost me my Stance Potion, which is fairly valuable. That said, when is it going to be more useful than in this fight? I guess Gremlin Leader, maybe, but I'm not afraid of Gremlin Leader. I'll keep the Miracle. Kerblam. Can we re-enter Divinity this turn? Looks like we might be able to. Be pretty wild. You, actually. I can get you both. 9 damage twice. Unacceptable. Fine. Be that way. If ye must. Get a Darkstone Periapt, increasing our max health if we should obtain a curse. And a second copy of Scrawl, because this deck wasn't absurd enough. Simply ridiculous. Alright, now I'm just going to upgrade the Flying Slaves. I've got 2 Scrawls, I don't know which one to upgrade. Maybe both. Maybe neither. If I draw both Prostrates, I can instantly enter Divinity here. Nice. Turn 1, by the way. Just your ordinary turn 1 against the Book of Stabbing. Yep. Completely normal. I think this rushdown has ended up not working too well. But I didn't think I was going to get 2 Scrawls. That's too many. Only took you 58 tries. Yeah, that's about right. I continue to hold that Minimalist is probably the most difficult achievement to get in Slay the Spire. Pen Nib? Yeah. Every 10th attack we play deals double damage, and that further multiplies with stuff like Divinity. So, you know. This is a little worrisome, with no assurance of exiting Wrath. Can I at least do the required 52? 14, 12, 12, 9. 24... plus 14, plus 9. That's only 47 damage, oh dear. That would then require the Duplication Potion to be anywhere near reasonable. Dupe potting the Cut Through Fate. Okay, I'll do that. Willing to have my potions this act beyond the Slavers repeatedly, that seems completely fair. Easy. You. Didn't quite get them all. Gambling Chip. We can now discard any number of cards on turn 1 to draw that many anew, making it almost impossible for us to not get an excellent turn 1 draw. There's a Brilliance here, scaling with our mantra. That's actually pretty cool. Brilliance seems like a huge payoff for this deck. After playing 10 Mantra and entering Divinity, this will have a base damage of 22, which means 66 with Divinity, or 99 minimum with Divinity plus Vulnerable. Backstreet Skater says, is Brilliance a good card in general? Doing 12 damage for 1 energy and with an additional +4 upgrade, it's above the curve for Watch Your Attacks, period. So as long as you're still looking for a damage card, Brilliance is often worth consideration, even with no Mantra at all. If you have Mantra, it can be quite special. I wouldn't say it's among the best cards of this character, but it is quite solid, especially when not up against any other rare cards. We'll happily take it. We don't need that Brilliance, mind you, but we definitely like it. Prismatic Shard, huh? So we could simply remove another strike. That's what I was intending to do here. We're in such a commanding position, it is very tempting to take a Prismatic Shard, which causes us to find cards from other colors. In particular, colorless cards, which will definitely make this deck even stronger if we add stuff like Master of Strategy or Apotheosis, where we're going to kick it off even harder. We could also get things from the other characters like Strength Gain or Intangibility or who knows what. Don't know until you try. Let's see what we get. Book of Stabbing, the Revengeance. Note that you can actually discard your Miracle with Watcher. Do I want Sanctity here? Yes. Well, it actually only draws one, really? No. Perfect. Draw 9 cards, please. Hey. Those weren't the correct 9 cards. So I'm not guaranteed to get prostrated unless I use the Cut Through Fate. Okay, fine. What shame. $99. Raid! Real Civil Engineer, hello and welcome. Thank you for the 350 of your closest friends. The name of peace, love, and eggplants. Oh dear. Well, put those eggplants on some waffles and you got yourself a proper meal. Chatters, show some love to these raiders with your waffles. Welcome, welcome. You're joining us in the middle of an Ascension 20 Slay the Spire run as the Watcher, part of a challenge here on the channel to get 100 wins on the maximum difficulty of Slay the Spire with each of the 4 characters. We're more than halfway through the challenge, and this run is looking like it's going to be a mighty spicy one, as we are currently staring at a very, very refined Divinity deck that is absolutely crushing everything. Hello and welcome, Chosen Nick. Those eggplants. Interesting option here. Recycle lets us exhaust a card, gaining energy equal to its cost. Watcher and Exhaust are not mechanics that typically go with one another, but here it's deeply intriguing. What if we could, mid-combat, further refine the deck down? It's also an amazing space creator alongside Scrawl, right? Exhaust a card in your hand, gain energy, and then Scrawl. Let's give it a try. That seems, quite frankly, insane. Perfect. So we go Tranquility, Prostrate, Crush Joints, Brilliance. Wow, this deck is absolutely ludicrous. Just ludicrous. The relic we just picked up, the Cloak Clasp, if we ever end our turn again, will give us block based on the number of cards in hand. It's quite good with stuff like Scrawl, since it fills your hand up. 0 cost vulnerable, interesting. Blade Dance also curious. Poor Stone Calendar, never actually got to do anything yet. Divine Shivs. I think I'm going to skip all of these, but they are intriguing in their own manner. This is not a relic, this is not a chest from the tiny chest. This is one we simply randomly encountered, containing Gremlin Horn. Card draw and energy whenever an enemy dies. I'm pretty happy with that. And I'm definitely going to upgrade Recycle, making it 0 cost. Exhaust a card and gain energy equal to the cost of that card. You'd love to see it. Don't need Crush Joints either, actually. Okay, I'll lose the Ascender's Bane now. Just kind of get ourselves set up for a future turn here. We have ended our turn. And cut through fate to get to one of the scrolls. We should be able to do that. So we go Tranquility, then Worship. Make it a big turn. Let's kill one of the minions first. This is perfect kill. $132 damage. Actually, more than that. 150 damage. I'm considering playing the Worship to make it even more. Go Worship. Sanctity. Perfect. Gonna recycle Eruption. If I play Prostrate and go to 10 Mantra when I'm already in Divinity, then nothing happens, actually. Beep. Seemed like pretty good damage. Ultra Divinity. Ultra Divinity. GG, nerd. Casual 3-turn Bronze Automaton fight. Absolutely dunking on that fool. Exhume to get back an exhausted card. Mostly Tranquility, actually. Why did one mantra give 6 damage there? Because the pen nib was additionally multiplying by 2. So Divinity is times 3, pen nib is times 2. 3 times 2, 6. Immolate's also mighty powerful here. Divinity Immolate will kill basically every enemy. Not that we don't already have the ability to do that, I suppose. Bullet Time to let us play every card in our hand, also kind of intriguing, but one could argue that we already can do so. I think I'm going to take the Exhume. We could also find a card later on that is incredible with the Exhume. Heck, we could even just Exhume a card to be recycled again. We want extra energy. Snecko Eye, interesting. Actually, not a terrible Runic Dome, giving us additional energy each turn, but preventing us from seeing what our foe is doing. Barely care what our foe is doing. I think we're also quite happy with a Black Star. Extra relics from elites. Currently the deck is operating very well. I don't think we want a Snecko Eye because we have many zero-cost cards that we want to be reliably free. And the Scrawl gets us up to 10 cards anyway. Although Snecko Eye plus Gambling Chip is notably very, very strong together. But I'm quite happy with the Black Star. Black Star is the one with no downside at all here. I don't think we necessarily need any more energy. We're already going to be able to manufacture more energy with the cards, so more energy from relics is not required. Let us instead get more something from the Black Star. Although, note, we must fight the Burning Elite, and if the positioning is wrong here, we won't get too many elite fights. Just 2 this act. Thanks to the map. So it's not going to be a lot of bonus relics, this Black Star, but it will be something. It'll have to do. I'd like to get the extra upgrade. Shops aren't as important to me. Can I get 5 question marks? That's the other question. Currently on track for 4. I get a bonus relic if I can make it 1 more. I actually don't see a reasonable way to do that. In fact, it looks like there is no path at all this act that hits 5 question marks. Oh, I could opt out of the Burning Elite, get this one as the 5th one. Surely that would work well. Right. Okay, then. Surely nothing bad would happen if I did that. Recycle the vigilance. Yes. Trip plus. 2 vulnerable to all enemies. That's kind of cool. With a free upgrade on it? That's really cool. Let's do it. Let's do it. Free vulnerable, also a free skill to make stuff like Sanctity draw. I like it a lot. Go cut their fate first. Recycle vigilance. Draw cards. Draw more cards. Put my faith in drawing even more cards. Mantra cards. Bonk. Beautiful. There's more card draw as well. Acrobatics. Draw 3, discard a card. Making room in hand to draw even more cards. I'll do it. I'll do it. Debunk. We get a treasure chest containing the Art of War if we end our turn without playing any attacks. Seems pretty unlikely. Take a sapphire key. More treasure. 171 gold for the red mask, which would apply 1 week to all enemies on turn 1. Not a terrible deal. I think I'd rather have the money for one last card remove, though. And Bob asks, what character did I get my first Ascension 20 heart kill with? Still remember it. It was the Ironclad. We had Dead Branch plus Corruption. And I still almost died because I didn't know that the heart was going to purge negative strength, and I played all of my disarms on turn 1, wasting most of them. That was pretty fun. But yeah, it was definitely Ironclad for me. Randy B says, my first was with Ironclad and a Brimstone and Limit Break. Purchased floor 2. That's pretty spicy. That's a heck of a way to get your first heart kill. Ooh, speaking of kills, can we kill the Transient? This intangible enemy. With this deck? I bet we can. I bet we totally can. Have to be careful, though. Perfect. Bonk. Let's play the Rushdown. And the Eruption. Okay, we need to do more damage, looks like. Means probably not playing the Sanctity. That's better. Not playing the Worship, rather. Let's see. So Exhume is going to be mostly used on... Currently nothing. We need to find a card to Exhume. It's actually a waste of deck space at the moment. Or we can get back Tranquility sometimes, but it doesn't seem as important. Let's go discard this. Trip, draw 2. Enter Divinity. Brilliance deals 315 damage with Pen Nib. Easy peasy. I can Exhume Scroll. Let's do that. Recycle Vigilance. Play Brilliance again. Bonk. Into Rathraw 2. Glorious. Bonk. GG Transient. GG. Killed with plenty of time to spare. Griff Jig, thanks for 28 months. Stick around till the second half of the stream and you too may get a chance to join the cult of Baalorlord. Shackles is a nice Exhume target. Might be too much nonsense, but I do like its ability to reduce enemy strength. Particularly good on the Awakened one and the Heart. Sure. We did talk about how taking the Prismatic Shard would let us take some colorless cards, and so far that has turned out to be exceedingly good for us. Love to see it. Alright, one of these scrolls needs to be free. Can't believe I've never upgraded Worship. I'm gonna let this Miracle go. Who's Crush Joints too? We got Trip. Bonk. Money! We get 300 gold and 2 more potion slots. That's an incredibly good Black Star result for us. Another potion 2 and Meteor Strike? Get in here. We're a Meteor Strike deck now, chat. That's ridiculous. Yeah, I can also recycle it for 5 energy if I don't want to play it. Or I can recycle it for 5 energy, exhume it, and play it. How about that? Ideally with Divinity. Yeah. Bonk. Meteor Strike refunds 4 energy as soon as you play it, thanks to evoking 2 Plasma Orbs. You do gain 1 Orb slot when you buy the Prismatic Shard, so we have an Orb slot that we get to use. Bonk. And bonk. Absurd. Could take Tempest just so that I have an X-Cost card to recycle. I think we probably want to stop taking cards for the moment. We have plenty. Crazy says, what happens with Brilliance if you go to Divinity 2 times? It counts the total amount of mantra you've gained for the whole fight. Note that if you're in Divinity and you gain 10 mantra again, you can't enter Divinity again unless you exit Divinity first. So you can waste your mantra gain for the purposes of entering Divinity, but Brilliance will still keep track of how much you actually gained. So if you play all of your mantra cards, all of our mantra cards twice, it'll be a base of 32. That gets multiplied by 3 to 96 base. And it'll keep going up and up and up the longer the fight goes on. Pretty cool. Glowing Tesseract offering us more colorless cards. Sure, I'll lose some health. We've got a Pantograph after all. To take a look at our options here. Bomb, Deep Breath, Entrance, not so much. We're looking for Master of Strategy, Apotheosis. Secret Weapon could be okay. Panacea, interesting. Another important question, how is this deck going to block against the Heart? Question I have not yet given a satisfactory answer to. Wait a minute. Enlightenment. I don't think so. But that's an intriguing option with Meteor Strike. I like Secret Weapon for getting Meteor Strike, more specifically. Let's take that. Serenity. And better potions, maybe? Question mark? Yeah, Stance Potion's better than an Essence of Steel. I think I'll keep the Power Potion. Swift Potion's not worth that much when I can have my hand full, right? Discard that for now. Already got Divinity entry? Interesting. Note that each stack of slow, every time we play a card, Giant Head takes 10% more damage from attacks for the rest of the turn. So with 13 cards played, he's taking 130% more damage, which does get multiplied by Vulnerable as well for 1.5, which means I can do this. Boop. We get Damaru giving us 1 mantra per turn, and Goldeneye for 2 additional Scry whenever we Scry, meaning the Cut Through Fates now Scry 4 instead of 2. Another amazing pair of relics. Blackstar has been absurd so far. We're offered another Scry for Cut Through Fate, but also a Well-Laid Plans to retain cards from turn to turn, or a Meditate to end our turn, put us in calm, and get a card back into our hand. All also ridiculous. Wow, tough choice, actually. Still gotta find a way to beat the Heart, though. We're gonna need some dexterity for that, maybe. Meditate is basically all right, well-laid plans. Yeah. That's true. But man, Scry 4 is... I think with the Damaru, it's impossible to turn down this Cut Through Fate. Pretty much impossible. Signature move, dash, neither are that inspiring here. Get one upgrade here. Very tempted to upgrade Exhume, actually. But the other Scrawl is also a good target. Now that we have Damaru, upgrading the other Prostrate is meaningful. Just even more Mantra. We might want to consider upgrading one of our block cards, as it may be really important to use that block during the heart fight. It is definitely tempting to upgrade Meteor Strike here. You want to, but is it actually the correct choice? I'm not sure. I think Acrobatics is also a good upgrade, drawing one more card. I agree with that. Cut Through Fate under the same auspices, looking at one more card. Delta Eva, thanks so much for 3 months of support. If I upgrade Exhume, it can fetch Miracle and actually help me out by so doing. I think that is quite nice. An energy upgrade would go a long way, but will it actually help against Heart? The Worship upgrade adds Retain, so that I can keep it from turn to turn, which is vaguely useful, but often in this deck not so, because we're just playing it every time we see it. I think I need to shore up this deck against Heart. I'm going to upgrade a Sanctity here. We have the offense down pat. We're going to crush through the bosses, no problem, but Heart is an issue. Heart is absolutely an issue at the moment. Sure. So we'll automatically enter Divinity at the beginning of next turn, currently. Should make Meteor Strike super playable. I like it. Accept. So I'm going to discard all of that initially. Bonk. Could use a potion here. Don't feel the need to. We do heal 25 at the end of this fight anyway. This is an okay time for Dark Shackles. Not the best, but I'll probably kill the Awakened one next turn anyway. So might as well. And then we perfectly full block if I don't play the Rushdown. Seems good. Bring me the Meteor Strike. And exhaust it. Perfect. Back into Calm, back into Divinity. Bang. Alright, Bird is dead. We'll scroll one more time. Get this in play. Acrobatics. Get rid of a strike. Draw more cards. More cards again. Play more mantra. Perfect. So that will be Divinity. Good. Bonk. 477 damage from Brilliance. You'd love to see it. Next up, Donu and Deck Nerd. We're gonna have just as hard a time as the Awakened One did, I'm sure. Let's discard that. Discarded the Worship, I did. Get rid of that. Play this. This. Draw. So I could exhume Scrawl. We probably don't want to do that. Just want to get set up as we can here. Probably wanted to Crush Joints one of them there. I could still Tranquility and do that. Sure. Tend to go for Donu first in this combat. Can prevent them both from increasing their strength if Donu is killed. But it might be correct sometimes to go for Dekka first. So I get 4 energy back after playing Meteor Strike. Bonk. The big bonk. Get back Scrawl or Tranquility Plus. Let's find Brilliance. Easy. Boop. Good. Bye-bye now. All the card draw, please. Alright, that's Donu and Deka destroyed. Sitting pretty, but again, I still insist that we are lacking in block for Heart, and that Heart is actually going to be a very large problem for the deck currently. Going to need to find an answer either with our 575 gold, or perhaps with these potions, to block the Heart's repeated assailants, particularly the Beat of Death. That's why I upgraded the Sanctity. I might upgrade the other Sanctity, just so that we have a way to get a little bit more block. Nothing else here really ups my survivability, other than, I suppose, Dark Shackles as an upgrade. Vigilance is also more block, but we're not often playing it. I'm gonna upgrade the other Sanctity. Okay, this could help. Another Power Potion could also help. Otherwise, there's not a whole lot of block here in the shop. We would take Panacea to try to draw it on turn 1. I like the Dupe Pot and the Power Pot. Maybe forget the Liquid Memories, go Duplication Potion, Double Power Potion. That gives us a really high chance of finding something like double Mental Fortress. Heck, I could even take double Nirvana at this time and try to make that work. Fasting would also be acceptable. Fasting would be acceptable. So I'm going to lose Liquid Memories and Stance Potion, go Power Potion, Duplication Potion, Swift Potion. We're not really entering Wrath, so I don't see that much value in a Stance Potion anymore. Leaving me with 340, that means I can buy the Master Strategy and the card removal? What luck. Or I could take more energy in the form of the Nunchaku or the Happy Flower. And I think we want more card draw. Alright, we'll have to see if this does it. The Power Potions are really going to need to bail us out against Heart here. Let's see if that actually ends up working. I, for one, am a little dubious. Just the Scrawl Plus, please. Okay, that's Divinity. Kerblam. Actually, keep the Brilliance. Okay. Suppose we'll stop there. Didn't quite work as I wanted it to. Fine. Perish. Alright, a pretty flawless fight there. Turbo, Prostrate, or Anger. Interesting. Get a bag of marbles to apply Vuln to the Heart on turn 1, and Whetstone upgrading 2 of our attacks. Otherwise, I think we'll have to make do with what we've got. I don't see any of these really helping me, not even Turbo. double cut-through fate upgrade definitely feels good, at least. I mean, it's not... there was a striked upgrade, so glad we didn't hit that. Okay. Let's go. This is a fantastic opening hand. I'm willing to exhaust the Flying Sleeves, but I don't feel like I need to. So, top priorities this turn. 1, get Panacea into play. 2, use our power potions to find some way to block, ideally in conjunction with the duplication potion. Like I said, Nirvana would be maybe sufficient, although not my favorite way to get there. But Mental Fortress is probably our best bet. There it is. There's also fasting here. I think we should just take and duplicate Mental Fortress. Although Devotion's definitely a little tempting. The extra mantra won't help us block. And the second one contains a fasting. Or Master Reality. If I'd gotten Master Reality first, I could have made the second card, second power card upgraded. That's pretty cool. Or there's Nirvana, too. So Nirvana or fasting? I think fasting. Fasting's going to encourage us to play fewer cards per turn, and that's a good thing with Beat of Death. One way to look at it, fasting is 3 block per block card we play. Nirvana is 3 block per scry card we play. Block cards versus scry cards. I think we have more block cards. 2 prostrates, 2 sanctities, and a vigilance. And it also means we'll need to play fewer attacks, which could help. The 1 less energy per turn could end up being a problem, though. Mental Fortress is definitely what we do. I won't be fasting the energy lossing from fasting. Using Panacea, to block the fasting energy loss. We'll be using that to block the vulnerable from the heart, if at all possible. Alright, let's take the Nirvana then. Nirvana, do pot the Mental Fortress. Let's see what's on top. Yes. There it is. Perfect. I can even exhume it. Oh, I could have exhumed it? That's pretty funny, actually. But we have many, many, many good things to exhume, such as Meteor Strike, which I'll probably be exhuming right now. Could Swift Potion now as well. I like that Dark Shackles is in the draw pile. I like that we can enter Divinity with Warship. Not a whole lot of other block in there, though. Well, there's stance changes. Each of those is 8. Okay. It'll also be valuable to do a lot of damage this turn if possible. But I think the way the draw is lined up, I'm going to end turn now. Keep the potion. Okay, Worship puts us into Divinity. And then we want Cut Through Fate to find Scrawl, realistically. There's 2 of them, and we scrawl at 5, so that's pretty doable. We'll have to take some damage to the Beat of Death. We do gain block when we enter Divinity, at least. As well as when we leave Divinity. Beginning of the next turn, but we'll be Eruptioning, probably. Here's Scrawl. Discard Dark Shackle since we don't need it this turn. It's nice to have next turn, but we need more at the moment. As you can see. If I Pendant Brilliance this turn, we'll cap damage easy. Don't want a Tranquility first, though. Trip Acrobatics. No. Well, this is why we're facing a problem here. We do at least have Cloak Clasp to help out. I think I just play Brilliance and Slimed at the moment. We've got all the status cards in our hand. We have to lose all these. Ascender's Bane, Dazed, Void, Slime. They all have to go. This looks pretty good. We should be able to find our way back to Dark Shackles next turn with all this scry. Shouldn't be too hard. Okay. Let's do the damage. Have Pendant for next turn. Block. And Orichalcum helped out too. Nice. Into 28. And note that we start this turn with 8 block because we leave Divinity at the start of the turn. It's technically how it is implemented. Bit of a waste of our pen nib, but I'm going to play Cut Through Fate. Okay, this puts me into Divine. Discard these 3. Actually, I need Eruption. Discard the Worship? Okay. Recycle the Eruption, play the Vigilance? That's a weird way to do it. Recycle the Flying Sleeves, play the Vigilance. But I don't get to retain the Flying Sleeves. And I haven't yet done enough damage this turn, so I think we play Tranquility Eruption. We need to do more. We need to do the damage cap this turn if we want this fight to go even vaguely well. We need to bring the heart below 400, which means doing at least 140 here, so that we can do 200 damage next turn, 200 damage the following turn before we get killed. Nice. Could drop to 5 more. Okay. Let's recycle Vigilance now. Perfect. Prostrate puts me into Divinity. And there's Dark Shackles, too. That's another fun option. But I need to make sure we cap. It's got to be capped. Discard that then. A bonk. Again, keep the flying sleeves in my hand. Now you're below 400. Eight block at the start of the turn. Don't even need that trip, do I? Yeah, we have to cap damage on this turn as well, if possible. Looks like it's very doable. Perfect. Keep Pen Nib for next turn? I suppose so. So we want to play that Warship. Use the Swift Potion next turn. So we're at 7 Mantra. All we need to do is get the Prostrate Plus. Might as well play this. But here, we don't have an easy answer to this. Or do we? Artifact blocks the Dark Shackles, so we have to either kill or figure out how to generate 60 block. Quite frankly, I think the answer is we kill. GG! Hey there, if you enjoyed that video, watch this one next. And before you go, join us on Twitch and watch live. I'm there 5 days a week playing Slay the Spire, answering questions, and chilling with the community. Click the link in the description to follow right now. Ta-ta for now.